Hello guys, it's time blind reaction of this My Little Pony fanfic reading called It Moves Below by Board Game Brony, read by Sparrow. Well, it moves below. Below where? Where does it move? Who's in the story? I haven't read the description really. Well, let's jump into this reaction. In 3, 2, 1, go. Warning, the following story contains some disturbing content that might disturb some viewers. Viewer discretion is advised. Sparrow presents.
Somewhere far behind Marble Pie, she heard the forest.
Hello, Marble Pie.
She stood alone in the middle of the forest, her hooves deep inside the snow, as her ears flickered around for the source of the disturbance. She brought a hoof up to her long scarf and wrapped it further around her neck. Her jacket provided just enough warmth for her
red eyes
in a soft snowfall. But the blanket of powder was growing by the minute, and the snow would soon be up to her knees. A fear in her heart began to surface, kicking its way through the calm and rearing its ugly head.
Must be very cold there, all the wind blowing.
In her mind, she could not shake the image of something deep within the forest, waiting. She picked up her pace and started galloping towards her home. Her parents and her sisters had made the long trip to the city to pick up supplies for the long winter. They had tasked Marble with the simple job of watching over the house. She got scared less than an hour later and ran down the road looking for the cart which held her family. But the snowfall had covered their tracks.
Really?
One wrong turn led Marble into a forest clearing, where she stood when she heard the large intake of breath. She found the path again and looked left and right. She knew the way back to her home, but wondered if she should risk running for her family somewhere down the trail. They could be kilometers away
down the trail. That was like all spooky
that she would no longer be able to run, and then it would know where she was. The thought of the moth filled her with dread as she moved quickly towards her homestead.
Should read some Stephen King stories.
But her family never believed
But
her.
Stephen King's not My Little Pony related though.
That it was possible that there could be a creature with a gigantic mouth swimming through the fresh powder of the falling snow as it made its way toward its prey. They didn't believe Marble when she told them she saw a full-grown bear get swallowed whole by the thing before its whimpering was silenced permanently. They said such fantasies were the signs of overactive imaginations, for there never was such a creature in all of Equestria. Marble Pie's heart broke, and
I shouldn't actually believe that actually, because anything can happen in Equestria.
It was there.
Anything.
Today, it moved in near silence. It had to be moving.
Is it the sky?
How else could she continue to hear that loud breath every once in a while, as though a large beast came up for air from under the pound?
This reminds me of King Thunder a bit
Another
actually.
thought filled her mind with fear as she stood atop a rock and looked for her home in the distance. There were no animals making noise, no birds chirping, no wolves howling. She had not even seen a single animal since she heard the breathing. She looked around and was still. She was having trouble focusing and almost hyperventilated. She looked down at the safety of her rock and thanked Celestia that the rock farm's main crop was in large abundance. The breathing returned. This time, it was very loud and somewhere close by.
Oh my gosh, who's that?
Rock and nearly lost her grip.
That must be King Thunder already.
In the snow with a gasp. Half her body was immersed in the cold. She dared not move and listened. There was no breathing. Marble Pie pulled herself up and clambered upon the rock again as she stared around.
About Marble Pie.
She heard a cracking
noise, not one of the first,
like that of teeth grinding against one another. It was very close, but she couldn't see.
You don't hear much about Marble Pie as a fanfic reading.
She felt the vibrations on the rock and looked around at the ground. Nothing was making its way through the snow. Marble fought back tears. She stared at the rock she was standing on and hugged it, glad that it existed. Some strange marking rested on the bottom edge of the rock where it touched the snow. She peered down, carefully examining it. There were teeth marks all around the perimeter of the rock.
Teeth
Marble
marks.
stood suddenly. She shivered and heard the deep rumble again. This time, the vibration definitely came from below her. She stared at the edges of the rock and saw the snow spin, as though something massive was circling its way around the rock. Jagged, white triangular protrusions appeared as they encircled the stone, carving into ever so slightly as the edges crumbled away bit by bit.
What?
Marble yelped at the sight of the monster's teeth sneaking their way through the rock to get to her. She cried out in fear and braced herself on the rock. Trees towered up above her, like bony sentinels awaiting her fate. The snow fell peacefully, oblivious to the nightmare playing out on the slowly diminishing island of rock, holding the lone earth pony, panicking as she turned around in her spot. She yelled for help, but the powder absorbed nearly all of her scream and made it impossible for anyone to hear her plight.
Along the fault
Frantically
line.
searched for any method of escape and spotted the road to her house only 10 yards away. It was elevated from her position, and she'd have to climb up a slight incline to get there. Could she make it? Was the beast so preoccupied with its rock meal that it wouldn't be able to catch her in time? She couldn't stay on her disappearing island of safety, or else the beast would find a way to consume her. She had to think fast. If she ran, the snow would slow her down. By the time she reached halfway up the slope, the thing would catch her. A quick glance at nearby trees showed that one was nearly dead. If she jumped just right, with enough force, she could knock it down and land on top of it. The confusion might distract the moth from locating her easily, so she could run up along its edge to safety. It was
What is this creature, man?
Marble readied herself as the grinding sound under her became worse. She steadied herself for the jump. A large cracking noise issued from underneath. She lost her footing and fell down, but managed to climb onto the rock. It started to lean to one side as the beast tried to push her off. Marble's pulse quickened to a feverish pace as the beast carved its way towards her. Its teeth were so clear now. They appeared as small ivory dorsal fins, slicing into the edge of the rock as the grumbling sounds began to grow in intensity. The trees around the forest shook as the snow fell in waves all around. It was hungry, and it was angry. Marble eyed the weak body of the tree within jumping distance.
Teach a new monster new tricks. I can't teach a monster new tricks.
Her imagination took over as she visualized a
It's a guard
larger than the
monster.
forest floor and a gullet the size of a mountain. Her brain screamed at her to move, to save herself, and finally, the image of her family came flooding back. They would never know the horror that awaited them in the woods if they ever came looking for Marble Pie. A power-filled marble from within, like the strength of rock stealing her heart. As she realized she had to survive so that her family would not fall victim to the stalking monster.
Are you the one away from this monster, man?
She stood up one last time. The teeth were moving so fast now that their movement started to create a whirling wall of white snow with their intensity. It was perfect, Marble thought. It would not be able to slow down so easily. She stepped back as far as she could go on the rock and aimed for the tree and did a running leap off the edge. Her body hit the side of the tree as she grabbed onto its trunk. For a split second, it seemed as though it might not fall. A cracking sound split through the forest as the base of the tree ruptured, sending Marble Pie forward towards the elevated road. She held on as the trunk slammed onto the snowbank below.
Are you falling into the fault line?
As Marble shook off the shock and scrambled to her hooves. She ran. The rolling teeth disappeared from beneath the rock. The ground shook. It knew where Marble was. It tore through the tree trunk like tissue.
Run!
Marble ran along the edge of the tree and leapt onto the path as she hit the ground running. She thought she might have sprained an ankle, but pushed herself anyway.
No relations to Galaxy
Beast carved
Crush.
to the ground like a shark on the hunt for its prey. Waves of earth parted and split off the side, creating a rising valley of dirt, heading straight for the fleeing pony. She saw the entryway to her house only 100 yards away. She turned back. The beast was slowing down. It couldn't go through the rock-heavy soil of the homestead. massive rock foundation keeping her safe. But if she did, who would save her family? She peered at the largest rock in the yard. It was a massive egg-sized hulk of stone called Holder's Boulder. At nearly 20 feet high, it was far larger than anything that beast could eat. She could lure it towards the boulder and find a way to topple it into its maw, where it could choke on the colossal stone. But she might not survive. The world felt like it was moving in slow motion as Marble Pie's mind switched back and forth between the two choices. She didn't want to die, but her family needed her. They would never know what she did for them, but as long as they were alive, that's all she cared for. Her eyes filled with tears as she changed directions and ran away from the home towards the large boulder.
Get back home.
The creature saw its chance and pushed
Home is where the heart is,
from its gullet. The mouth was now more visible than ever before, with the spinning body carving its way through the ground, covered in tendrils, thrusting its way through the gem-covered soil, cutting deep into its body. Deep gashes began to form in its hide, but the beast was in too much of a rage to stop. Marble Pie ducked behind the cover of Holder's Boulder and saw the beast plow into it. It made a nightmarish screech as the ground was disturbed under the massive rock. It started to tilt ever so slowly towards the creature. Marble didn't realize it at first, but her neck scarf had come undone. The beast tried to rotate its maw in her direction, but couldn't reach her past the rock. It did, however, reach her scarf. The fabric caught on its teeth and started to turn into the mouth. She shrieked and held her body against the back base of the boulder. Like a noose, the scarf tightened around her neck.
Boulder saved today.
She couldn't remove it. It was too tight. If she didn't let go, her neck would surely be snapped.
I shit Boulder with her, by the way.
Towards the beast, thanks to the extra push
Boulder
on its now uneven ground.
Shit.
I felt her mind blacken as the color drained out of her face. She thought about Limestone Pie and how her sister's anger was only something that she could soften. She wondered about Maud Pie and her quiet, calm love. She thought about Pinkie Pie and the happiness her twin sister always gave her. She thought about her mom and dad and realized it was time to say goodbye. All of this was in the blink of an eye. She let go. The beast dragged her into its maw as it spun so fast her body fell past the teeth and into the gullet deep below.
Oh dear.
She had no chance to scream and fell into the darkness. The boulder fell as well. It smashed down on top of the head of the beast. It died in a burst of agony and finality. It did not move. The rock farm was quiet that day. Birds started to chirp again. Animals wandered freely in the forest. The sun was beautiful and warm. The snow started to melt, revealing the large body of the thing still lying motionless in front of the Pie family house. There was a tapping sound, a sound that reminded every pony who knew that the Pie family were rock farmers for a reason. A sound that got louder and more desperate as time went by, and the rest of the snow disappeared. In less than a day, the tapping had become so great that the vultures who were watching the body of the beast stayed away and waited. There was a burst of cracked carapace on the side of the beast. A small hoof came out, another kick, and more of the body crumbled away, like a dusty set of armor now broken and useless. 2 hooves stretched back the body and snapped the pieces of the exit wound off, as the small mare named Marble Pie collapsed on the ground outside it. She looked up at the boulder and saw it had smashed the head of the beast, but not its central body. It was more massive than she had imagined. She lay on the ground and waited until her family strolled up the road. Waited until they ran to embrace her and hold her close, feeding her food and drink and medicine until they pulled her inside and left the rotting corpse of the stalking ma out in the sun. Their daughter was more important to them than anything else. The vultures would take care of the rest.
Okay, kind of a happy ending, but let's get on to the rest of the what I think about this reading. Firstly, what does this beast even look like? Yes, it's easy to describe it on paper or just to read it, but to actually see have imagination of what the creature will look like, that's hard. And you got the red eyes in the picture, but the beast is on the ground, under the ground. What can live under the ground? This reminds me of. I say this now, a Doctor Who reference. Pompeii, and there was a beast underneath where the lava is, causing the earthquake, and it was basically prophecy of I don't want to go into it. And I thought Marble Pie was going to be killed, man. Where it was reading, you've gone into the beast, I thought, she's dead. And it's supposed to be alive. But this won't escape her memory. She'll live with that nightmare for the rest of her life. And it's sort of thing you have to cope with. And it's not easy. It's not always easy. You basically escape death, You basically escape death. There's no snow in the actual picture though. I noticed. There's no snow in the actual picture. But it was a good reading. And it was a sort of reading that you didn't need a character's voice. You understand? It was like you're describing what's happening, but you're not technically reading. You're not actually voicing the actual character. If you understand, she's basically not talking. She wasn't talking in that episode, and the 40 minutes just go quickly.
Oh, come on!
Thank you, Sweetwell. 40 minutes do go quickly. Yeah. Well, that was a good reading, and from Sparrow. I want to see more readings from Sparrow like that. Yeah. Like I said, sort of voice you can have for Stephen King novels, even though Stephen King's not a Brony. Anyway, I do have to go now. Hopefully you like this video, and I'll see you later on. Oh, yes. Okay, we're now hot. Sweetie Belle has been quiet for 1 second, and we're going to do a reaction. Yeah, let's get started. Okay. Hello guys. Man, it's hot in here. It's getting hot in here. Hello guys, time to react. Damn. Alright. Hello guys, time to reaction of this video. Do that again. Hello. Oh, Jesus Christ, my eye. Hello guys, do it again. Fucking hell, what's going on with me? Hello guys, hello guys, it's time blind reaction of this. Hello guys, it's time blind reaction of this. Gosh. Hello guys, time blind reaction of this My Little Pony fanfic. Fucking hell, man. A bit late. 3 minutes late. Okay. Let's try this again. Hello guys, time blind reaction of this My Little Pony fanfic reading by Hello guys, it's time blind reaction of this My Little Pony. Hello guys, it's time blind reaction of this fanfic reading. Do it again. Hello guys, it's fucking hell, what am I saying? Hello guys, it's time blind reaction of this My Little Pony fanfic reading read by Sparrow. Or no. Or hello guys, it's time blind reaction of this My Little Pony fanfic reading by board game Brony, read by Sparrow, or AKA Sparrow. Fuck. Hello guys, it's blind reaction of this. Hello guys, Hello guys, it's time blind reaction of this My Little Pony fanfic reading by Hello. Hello guys, it's time blind reaction of this My Little Pony fanfic reading by Broad. Said it right, Mark. Hello guys, it's time blind reaction of this My Little Hello guys, it's time blind reaction of this Hello guys, it's time blind reaction. Hello guys. I would like to read. No. I would like to see more reaction. No. I want.